Yes, so I'm currently a student at the College of Haringey Enfield in Northeast London, and it's something I discovered whilst I was at the library, that they are running a Green Skills Academy, which is a Mayor of London initiative to upskill people in the local communities and teach them about the basics around sustainability. So I thought it would be a great idea to connect Conel with EnCaf, and we'll be hearing from Khai, Ahmed and Hussein Labaraad, who are both career advisors and course coordinators, and they'll be talking to us about a number of their sustainability training related pathways, and these range from basic introductory courses to more specialist sort of engineering vocational type courses. So I'm sure it's going to be very enjoyable, and I'll pass over to Khai Ahmed, who I believe has got a few slides he wants to share with us.
Thank you, Conel, and hello everyone. So thank you for the introduction, Conel. My name is Khai. Thank you, Francis, as well, for giving us time to talk through what we're about. So great to hear all the things that are going on in our neighbouring borough. And so we're basically, as I said, we're an academy that operate as one of the arms of Conel College. So we're the Mayor of London's put together a sort of a project for upskilling people and supporting people into work within the industry that we can contribute towards bringing London towards net zero. So the Green Skills Academy is therefore accessible for people in the borough, as well as all Londoners. To be fair, there are certain eligibility criteria, but it's quite accessible. And it's designed to upskill individuals who are either new to the industry, who are maybe not so well versed in what green is, and how they can contribute, or people within the industry. So people like your electricians, your plumbers, the trades, the whole arm of the construction industry, to upskill them training and qualification to do with either from, as Gunnar said, from basic level, just awareness, all the way to level 4 qualifications, accredited qualifications in terms of biomass, wind turbine technology, electrical vehicle charge point, things that the jobs out there will contribute towards a net zero. So we all know that net zero is a very very important target. It's one that we all, whether we like it or not, we will play a part. Every industry will play a part, and they will be required to do so. But how do we get there? So I think it starts from awareness. It starts from people knowing what they can do and knowing how they can do that, and that's what the skills is for, the upskilling. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen if it will allow me. All right, so I'll just start off. I mean, this is just a quick slide I put together regarding Green Skills Academy. So obviously we're part of the Capital City College Group, which owns the which merges all the colleges within the north. So we are merged with City and Islington College, known as Candy, also Westminster Kingsway College in King's Cross, Victoria Westminster College in Victoria, and Regis Park Centre in Regis Park. So that's part of the actual Capital City Group. And in terms of the academy, so first of all, we want people to be clear about what we mean by green. So we're talking about being sustainable, being net zero, and also being aware about the circular economy. So by green, we mean renew, revitalize, and regenerate. Sustainable, again, can be something that can be maintained at a set standard over time. And circular economy is things that we have with the economy that are for recycling, repurpose, reuse, and reduce waste. So we believe that these, the above, are all things, as well as other things, that will contribute and lead us to net zero carbon economy. And in terms of why is green so important, so as the world begins to recover from the devastating impact of the coronavirus and our lives and livelihoods, a broader transformation is taking shape. Hundreds of thousands of new jobs will be created by investing in infrastructure, electric vehicles, domestic retrofit, clean power, with offshore wind farms and much more. So There is a 10-point plan for the Green Industrial Revolution, and here is some of those. I mean, I'll just read off a few of those, but obviously advancing offshore wind, we've had that for a long time, but it's about now really accelerating that reinvestment from there. Driving the growth for low carbon hydrogen, so hydrogen as your alternative power source, delivering new and advanced nuclear power. Again, very technical, but I won't go into that too much. Accelerating the shift of zero emission vehicles. So we all know, London has a target in terms of reducing combustion and fossil fuel powered sort of vehicles. So by 2030, there will be a total reduction of manufacturing within the UK of combustible engines, and then by 2035, I think that we're not allowed to have any on the road at all. Again, this is something that is out there, but this is part of the revolution. Green public transport, more cycling, more walking routes, and again, that's something that is going on, but it's accelerating now. Jet zero and green ships, greener buildings, investing in carbon capture, usage and storage, protecting our natural environment, and green finance and innovation. And moving on, so one of the things we talked about is retrofitting. So for those that don't know, retrofitting is about changing the outlook of our domestic and commercial dwellings, and basically giving them a more renewable, sustainable way of using energy. So London is one of the largest sort of resident cities in the UK. So a lot of properties within London that need to be retrofitted. Obviously, anything new now will have retrofitting already within them. Will be already green and energy compliant. But a lot of London properties are still really old and doesn't have the right energy consumption. So retrofitting is so important within London. And according to a recent poll, the overwhelming majority of Londoners, 82%, are concerned about climate change, with about 40% describing themselves as very concerned. So in order to respond to their concerns and for London to play its part in mitigating climate change, retrofitting London's home is even more crucial now. So fossil fuel heating needs to be phased out. Houses and blocks of flats need to become more energy efficient, and they should contribute to the general reduction of carbon footprint. So generation of solar renewable energy, again, that's something that we have talked about, how we can increase our consumption of energy, reduce our consumption of energy and making it more renewable. So whether it's, we are installing roof electrical photovoltaic panels that converts energy, and the users are able to store enough for their own use, but also sell it back to the grid so that the grid can reuse that as well, for those that can't have solar panels installed in their property. So moving on, so all of these areas, these are the skills that will be required. So we're talking about air source heat pump engineers, domestic energy advisors, domestic retrofit advisors, solar thermal engineers, retrofit coordinators, retrofit assessors, sustainable construction, electricians level 4, roofers level 2, engineers at degree level, and level 3 electrical vehicle charging point equipment installers. So these are just some of the skills that we will be required, and that's where we as the Green Skills Academy play our part in terms of getting people upskilled from something as easy as being a retrofit assessor all the way to level 4 electricians. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to pass you on to my colleague Hussein, who will be able to give you a little bit more about what some of those evolutions will look like. Hussein, over to you.
Very much. Hello, everyone. Pleasure. Thank you for having us today. Echoing everything that's been said in this meeting, the aim is to try and hit a net zero in terms of carbon emissions. So I want to show you, Khai, could you go on to the next slide? So I'm going to use Khai's shared screen just to make things easier for us. So we've just got several, as I said, we've got several examples just to show that we do have the ingenuity, the creativity to actually achieve this target that we really need to try to achieve to save the planet. Now, some of the examples that you're going to see are just little pictures just to make it a bit more lighthearted, just to show you guys, look, we do have it in us. So you can see how far back we used to be in 1929 to 2022. And I know for a lot of you guys here, you're aware of a lot of the changes that we've achieved in society. So Khai, could you go down and show them the next picture, please?
Sure.
Electrical bikes, you can see they're on the rise. They are honestly one of the best sources to reduce emissions, reducing the number of cars on the roads, as this is one of the most cleanest ways to actually, well, one of the most cleanest transport that you can actually have. So do you want to carry on to the next one for me, Khai? Appreciate it. This, honestly, guys, I don't think a lot of people would know where it is. I would love to ask questions to everyone and try to get back responses, but I know we're short on time. So this is actually Khai, that's cheating. You're showing the side of what actually the name is. So in essence, basically it's a roller, it's a steam presser. So it is it's very old in comparison to what we have now. So we have honestly come forward quite a lot. It's a pressing roller. We've got a lot better uses for it now. Sorry about the blurred pictures, people. Moving on, we've got washing machine. Look what it used to look like and what we have now. So we're trying our best to make things as efficient as possible. And honestly, these are just light-hearted pictures just to give some sort of clarity in terms of how much we have achieved and where we really can go. Moving on to the next slide. Thank you. There's a few more. And you can see that we have old radios, honestly, the size of big TVs, but we've created ones that are more energy efficient, more ingenuity involved in them. And what I want to show you in terms of what Khai was saying, I want to echo, is in terms of the courses that we have available for people to actually try to get the jobs that the green sector is producing. I want to show you some or a few of the actual courses that we have available. Khai, could you bring up the spreadsheet for me, please? Thank you. So at Conel College, we have several courses running. So Gunez's already done one of the introductory courses that we've done, which is Introduction to Retrofit. In essence, basically trying to figure out how to make homes and buildings as energy efficient and energy renewable as possible, right? So you can move on to those, and we want to show you some of the things available, and hopefully we can get more people onto this so that we can fill the vacancies that are available created through these green initiatives. So at the top, as you can see, we have an introduction to green skills, and some of the dates may not be here, but when we do, as I said, when you do inquire, we'll be able to give you dates. Going further down, we've got introduction to building envelopes types, including and bespoke women only offers. So we do also cater to trying to get more women into the industry. So we do have women only classes as well. It's not just geared towards men who tend to dominate the sector. So moving forward, we got level 3 certificate in domestic energy assessment. To be honest, I've done this and I didn't need to, but it was so interesting. It taught me a lot about the energy waste that we produced in our own homes, right? Considering from the roof, the amount that you lose from the roof, the doors, the windows, and just how to make it more insulated and make you reduce the amount of energy that you use or waste in the house. Now, going further down, we've got things like level 4 non-domestic energy assessment. So that's not going to the actual houses, but actual big buildings, corporations, trying to make sure that we find a way to also implement roles within that sector. Now, the interesting one, as I said, I know we're not trying to make engineers straight off the bat. We just want to get people, make enough noise to make sure that everyone understands that there's a part to play. So in terms of solar thermal systems, as I said, mainly targeted at women as well. And we also have one that's mixed class. It just teaches you the basic starts into it, and you can then level up to level 2, 3, 4, and so on. Going further down to the bottom, Khai, go down for me. So we've got introduction to wind turbine technology as well. So there is initiative. So by 2023, which is this year, summer, there has been a huge development of wind turbines. So there is going to be an initiative to push people to help maintain these things. So we're trying to also get them their entry-level jobs into this industry as well. So just to echo the whole theme of this whole presentation, our actual goal, and I think is similar and it twines to you guys as well, is that we want to get enough people trained and understanding what the problem that we face today and try to get them into the relevant roles that will help make this world a better place for us. And that's mine done here. And Khai, if you want to jump back in just to take a few questions. Thank you very much for your time, everyone.
Thank you, Hussein.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
over to you, Francis.
someone's asked a question already saying, do you actually offer qualifications in retrofitting as well?
Yeah, so retrofitting is one of the key qualifications we have. So we do from introduction through to level 2, level 3. But yeah, that is one of the courses we do. We have finished a batch of those courses, and we will be starting new courses just before the summer.
Okay. Is there anyone else who has any questions on this? I mean, maybe I could ask both of you a question. I mean, you're doing so much and you're gaining so much knowledge. When we had a meeting today at Enterprise Enfield, Andrew mentioned, I don't know if Andrew's on at the moment, but he mentioned that it would be good to have some sort of knowledge base for businesses and for the community about all sorts of things. Now, maybe that's something we could work with both of you on in developing a knowledge base that would be useful to you because it would direct people to your college, but it would be useful for the community and for small businesses out there who actually want that knowledge. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Francis, to us, that's music to my ears. So that is absolutely what we are interested in. So, like I said, we are an academy, and just like any academy, whether you call it sports academy or any kind of skills academy, the idea is that people come in and they progress their journey through the academy, and then eventually get into something that they've always wanted to get into. So similarly, we are an academy. We start off with the basics, which is the knowledge. So it's all about giving the knowledge to the learners and the participants to make sure that they can take that knowledge and make use of it. So we will love to have people just come here just to learn, even if it's just basic as an introduction to how to be more energy efficient at home, or if it's how to retrofit your houses, or how to install electric vehicle charging points. I mean, just as an example, I mean, in London, you can imagine how many cars we have on the road. Yeah, over 2 million cars on the road we have on any given day. And just to give you a comparison, I mean, if we was to switch to electric vehicle cars only tomorrow, that means 2 million of those cars will need to be electric vehicles. Now, there's not enough resources to charge those cars. So according to government statistics, we have about 11,500 electrical vehicle charging stations at the moment, including in the petrol pumps. So if you can imagine 2 million cars and 11,500 charging points is just not enough. So where is that bridge? How do we bridge that? So we need people to be skilled to be able to go out there and install these electric vehicle charging points domestically as well as the commercial spots as well. So
okay,
it's all about getting a skill and then getting them qualified to do the job as well.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. So I mean, if we could talk to you about that later and how we develop that and how we work with our hubs, as Geraldine said, or Jerry, as Jerry said in the chat, and if we can work with businesses as well, I think it would be a benefit to all of us to do that. So if we could do that, that'd be great.
Could I chip in quickly?
I don't think I can stop you.
Not a problem.
Go ahead.
Listen, so sorry. Melahat had a question, and I didn't want to bypass it because I saw her put up.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yes.
Hi, thank you so much. I think the presentation was great. And what you are doing is absolutely fantastic. It's much needed in London, but also in the UK as well. But I had a question about take up. I'm just wondering what take up is like, especially by those already in the construction industry, because I'm a researcher, and a lot of my research is really concerned with what you've talked about. So the greening of the construction industry. And my knowledge is that especially SMEs find it very difficult to find time and to fund extra training. I'm just wondering, you are offering so much, and just wondering what take up is like.
Okay, over to you.
Okay, Hussein, you want to say that?
No, shoot, guys, shoot. It's all you go for it.
Okay, so it's a good question. And the first thing I want to say is green is very new to a lot of people. And, this initiative, although it's not new, in terms of the pace that it needs to gather, I think we are in the infancy of that journey. In terms of the take up, I mean, everything that we've already started has been filled. Like, we've had oversubscription in the courses that we've started off. Admittedly, the courses have not been abundant, in terms of we've started off with introductions, so we've had like 3 or 4 batches of the courses, but we are gathering sort of interest within the local authorities as well as the boroughs and stuff. So we are gathering, and even businesses want to upskill their individuals, and again, these are councils that want to upskill the people, the contractors that they have. So we are gathering, and that's why we like to work with the councils, because they are they're a great source of referral for us. But a lot of these courses haven't started yet. They are yet to start. So again, the take up will be slow, I'd imagine. But we are gathering momentum. But so far, I would like to say, I mean, it has been well, because the ones that we have, the courses that we have rolled out, have been successful and have been filled up. I would just add, though, in terms of accessibility, we are trying to be accessible with the course as much as possible, in that the hours that we do offer is it's designed for like 1 day a week. So even the people within the trade, they can access it by taking a day off in the week, and then which we're looking at online versions of the same thing as well. So that's the next part of the rollout. There will be more online versions, perhaps maybe more towards the afternoon, late evening, so early evening, late afternoon, so people can join it after work. So the take up is steady, but hopefully we are gathering momentum.
Okay, we're getting very close to the end of this section. Basil, if you've got a very brief point.
Yes, I understand that the levels of unemployment in Edmonton are particularly high. Is there any way in which people can be pointed towards these courses that will give them employability that will be invaluable in the future? Is anything being done about this, or have you got ideas for how it could be done? Because it's a desperate situation for the unemployed people and for the climate, and this is a way out of it.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, Hussein.
So in essence, to answer that question, what we do is, so we're jobs and careers advisors / also working within the academies that the Mayor of London has introduced. So we have fellow colleagues who go to job centers, communities, libraries, events such as, say, Excel, to try and shout or make as much noise about these courses available to them, to upskill them, in order for them to actually find work within the green sector. So there is a lot being done, but honestly, we can do a lot more. There's never enough that we can do in order to try and make sure we reach this target. So honestly, if you're saying there is a lifeline that you could send to us as well to help connect us, to try and reach those pool of people that you've just mentioned, it would be welcomed, honestly. But we are doing our best in terms of trying to get as many unemployed people onto the course. The reason why that is if you look at the prerequisites that we put in place for this course, or the people that are able to join these courses, is that you need to be 19 plus. You need to also be unemployed or earning 23,000 or under for the courses to be free to you. So from 23,000, honestly, you can still be working and the course is still available to you for free.